Hello, welcome to today's Clarity Reset. Today, we are going to check our business alignment with our values. So, you know, the work that you do on a day to day basis, most of us don't really slow down and look at that work and check it against, the things that we value deeply inside. But today, we're going to do that. And so I invite you first to join this grounding exercise with me. Um, and then we'll get into the journaling prompts. So please get cozy in your chair or whatever you're sitting in. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. And I want you to start paying attention to your breath. Pay attention as it moves in and out of your body. Notice the way that the air feels cool as it enters through your nostrils. And as it exits, it feels a little warmer than that, just subtly. Notice how your chest moves up or out, it expands, and then it contracts as you breathe out. Just notice that tiny movement. Concentrate on it. As you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in clean, crisp, fresh air. And in that air are little particles that are going to grab onto anything that feels stuck, stagnant, unmoving. It's going to grab onto those things. And then as you breathe out, you're going to breathe out all of those things that feel stuck, stagnant, unmoving, maybe even harmful, negative, not the energy you want to carry. So, again, when you breathe in, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in clean, crisp, fresh energy to refresh any of that old stuck stagnant energy. And as you breathe out, you're pushing all of that out. Now we'll take a few deep breaths together. So a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your breathing return to normal. And I want you to think about your business. And I want you to think about your values. And when I said both of those things, if you felt like you had to shift what you were thinking about in any kind of substantive way, that might be a sign that your values and your business, maybe they're not aligned. If they felt like one and the same, then great for you. We'll still dig in a little later. But I want you to think about if there was a gap, if there is a difference, what that gap might be. Some gaps are small and they're easy to close. Some have been there for a long time. And I want you to just ponder on it without judging it, without trying to change it right now. We'll do that in the journal work that comes. I just want it to be fresh on your mind. What are your values versus your work? And I also want you to notice if this sits in any kind of observable way in your body. Maybe you feel an energy, a tenseness, a tightness, an excitedness somewhere in your body when you think about your values and you think about the things that matter the most to you. Just notice. And now we'll take a few more breaths together. So a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Clean, crisp, clean air in through your nose. And last big breath out. Everything negative, everything stagnant, everything stuck. Breathe it out. Just breathe it out now. And now I invite you to come back to the room, grab your journal. And the first thing I want you to do is brain dump. So, anything that pops into your head, write it down. This has nothing to do with our journal prompts. I mean, maybe it does, but this is to move anything that's kind of in the way of clear thinking out of the way, get it onto paper, and get it out of your head. The key is to keep writing this entire 2 minutes. Don't stop writing. And if you don't know what to write, just write word. Write that word and keep writing word over and over again until the next word comes. It's that ridiculous. Just write whatever comes out. Doesn't have to be a complete thought, doesn't even have to be a real sentence or anything. Just keep writing. Whatever is floating around in your brain, put it on paper. We do this so that as we work through our journal prompts, you're not sifting through all of that every time. I'm a person who I'm constantly thinking about things. I have like 5 things I think about at one time. And it's good to get that stuff out and onto paper so that you don't have that chaos kind of floating around all the time. And the more often that you do these little brain dump sessions, these little 2 minutes, the easier it gets, the clearer your mind is on a regular basis. So it's a good habit to get into, but it's certainly a good habit to get into before we start doing our journal prompts because again, we want to get all that stuff out of the way so that when we answer the questions in our journals that are coming up, it's clear. And maybe if it's not clear, but it's clearer than it would have been. You got 10 seconds left, just keep going. All right. You can stop writing. And we're going to go right into our first journal prompt, and that is what do you say your business is about? This isn't like your elevator pitch that you would give to someone who you just met. This is like the actual values underneath it. So, what would you never compromise on, even if it cost you money or convenience? List it out, free write it, whatever. Just get it on paper. That's the job right now. You got 3 minutes. So go into detail, get it out there, put it on this paper. What do you say your business is about? When you talk to people about your business, what do you say it's about? What do you say your values are? What would you never compromise on, even if it cost you money or convenience? A couple minutes left. Keep going. Go deep. Go deep. Again, bring it back to what would you never compromise on, even if it costs you money or convenience? The things that are most important to you, the values you hold true. Okay, 45 seconds left. Again, what do you say your business is about? Not the elevator pitch, but the actual values underneath it. Okay, start wrapping it up. Okay, so now you're going to answer this question. Looking at where your time, money, and attention actually went over the last few weeks, what does the evidence say you value? Not what you intended to do, not what you planned to do, but what actually happened over the last 2 weeks. And really look back. So we're looking at the second and third week of June. Maybe yeah, the second and third week of June. I had to think about it. And if you're watching this sometime in the future, then just think back literally the last 2 weeks where your time, money, and attention actually went. What does that evidence say you value? What did you spend money on? What did you spend your time on? What did you focus in on? Where was your attention the last 2 weeks? All right, start wrapping it up. Again, looking at your time, money, and attention, what does the evidence actually say you value the last couple of weeks? All right. Third question is this: where is there a gap between what you said in prompt one and what you found in prompt two? And what has that gap been costing you? Some gaps are small and easy to close, and some have been there for a really long time. So I'm just inviting you to name it without judging it. Where is the gap between what you said in prompt one and what you found in prompt two? And then, bonus question: what has that gap been costing you? You got a couple minutes left. Keep going. Right. So, again, you're naming the gap between your business values and what the evidence is showing in the last couple of weeks. And then I want you, as a bonus question, what has that gap been costing you? So go ahead and address that one if you haven't yet. I'll give you about another minute. Okay, start wrapping that one up. Again, where is there a gap between what you said in prompt one and what you found in prompt two? And what has that gap been costing you? Okay, so finally, I want you to finish this sentence. The one move I could make this week toward real alignment is blank. Now, write the whole sentence out. Don't just write the answer. There's some like magical thing that happens. I have to do jazz hands when I say magical. Um, but there's something that happens that's different when you write the whole sentence out. I don't want you to write a whole plan. I just want you to write one move, something specific enough that you can actually do it. So, again, the one move I can make this week toward real alignment is blank. As you're wrapping it up, I really just want to say that alignment isn't a destination. It's a decision you make again and again, and it's usually in small moments that nobody else sees. Alignment is not only your values, knowing what your values are, because you can't align with your values if you don't truly know what they are. So alignment is first knowing your values and then making the decision to make choices in your business or your life or whatever in general again and again in the tiniest ways, in the small moments that nobody's keeping track of. You're probably not even keeping track of it either. And maybe you find in your, in your work that if this happens over and over again, one, it might be that your work itself just doesn't align with who your values are, and maybe that's draining you. Maybe that's really just sucking the life out of you. Maybe that's something to look at, come to terms with. Maybe that points at a problem that you've been having, with your energy levels. Maybe that helps you to answer why this isn't feeding your soul, right? Or that you're just exhausted or that your energy is off. Um, or maybe it is aligned. Maybe you did this exercise and everything you realize like, oh my gosh, I really am like moving in the right direction. And I bet that that feels amazing because when you're working toward a thing that you're excited about and it aligns with who you are and how you show up in the world, that's where the magic sauce is. What else are we doing here? Right? Like, what is this life about if that's not it? And so, whatever you came up with today, I hope that this opened up maybe some clarity around, what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, and if you're not, then why you might be feeling a little chaotic, why you might be feeling off, why you might be feeling like unfulfilled and bored or just not vibing on what you're working on. And so this is just to point the thing out. It's not for you to judge yourself. It's not for you to be harsh with yourself. And it's not for you to make a major change right now. Just do one little small thing to get closer to that alignment if you feel a little off. And as we work through other journaling prompts this week and in the future, there will be many opportunities to dive into different ways to make your business more aligned. And if this is something that, you feel especially, drawn to working on in a concentrated way, I'm available. Reach out. I'd love to help you work this out and align the stars, align your business with your soul, align the business with your purpose, and align your business with the thing that really lights your soul on fire, right? So, at any rate, I hope this was a good exercise for you. I hope you really enjoyed today's journaling session. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope you have the best day ever. Bye.